so our next question today, Alejandro, I think, if I pronounce that correctly, Alejandro, right? Yeah, I'm not going to try again. Alejandro, maybe. Let's try to pronounce it like that because, yes, names are important, right? So translated to English. So this is a Portuguese question, and how to create an option to update several records from a filter with a data that is given to one of the fields in a data entry field. Okay, so the filter here, that threw me off a little bit because when you say filter, I'm thinking you are searching, but at the same time, you could also be filtering your data within your grid application, which is what I am going to assume here. Alejandro, I hope I pronounced that correctly. Okay, so what you then basically want to do, so several records from a filter. So you could be doing this from a form application or something along those lines, I would imagine, a form or a control application. So say, for instance, within this form, we have here the form customers, and we have all these fields in here. And say, for instance, with the customer information that we have available here, we want to insert some of this data into another table. So for instance, you may want to create the user account at the same time as the customer filling in that form, as an example, okay? So if we have here, for instance, the typical data that we have, so if I run this form, now we have that user ID, we need to get rid of that because that is not going to work. There is no user ID. Okay, so we have here then our customer information, and say, for instance, I want to transfer here the country, the contact title, the contact name, as well as reference also the company name within a couple other tables, or one table, two, three tables, it doesn't really matter. So we come here again to our events, and the first thing we need to really do then is decide when do we want that process to occur. So is it on insert, after the, when you exit the application, when you delete, when you load the application, because of course we have quite a few events there to choose from. Now in this case, I would imagine it's going to be on after insert or on after update, or maybe even the all, because you could, loop through your data and, collect that data that you have from a grid in one go and insert that within another table. So in this case, the easiest way is to use here the examples that we have on the right-hand side. Now, these are really awesome because, of course, it saves you coding. Now, here, for instance, you can then insert into that table. So say, for instance, this was now the customer group table or the customer order table. So here, then I would say this is then the customer order table. So that is then my table name as it is defined here. And then we have here an array of our fields. So all of the fields that I want to capture from here, if I come up the top here, we can define them first of all. We can say then here, we have then, first of all, the company name. I want to take the company name. I then also want to take here the contact name. Okay, so then I'm using here also the field variables, as you are seeing. Okay, curly brackets, and then the field title, and that then essentially becomes a field variable. Now, using those, I can then attach them here to our fields. So just like that, I'll just copy those, and then I'll place them here. And of course, we can continue on and add as many fields as we need here. Okay, so you can carry on there and add as many fields as you need. Right now, I'm just going to go with the 2. Of course, it's not going to work because I have no table for that. I need to know the table, so we might check that in a moment and just run through this insert. So right now, this will insert into the customer order table. So here, let's then also adjust those fields. So that would then be, for instance, customer underscore city. And then this would then be customer underscore contact, because we are assigning these to our new fields within the customer order table. So these 2 fields here are represented within that table. So the customer order table, okay? And then here we have our fields defined. Now, just by finishing this, running this now, and then once the user then inserts, it will then follow through and insert that data also into those other tables. And what I would also suggest here is reverse a little bit and check out the redirect that we just had a look at, as well as, of course, the commit transaction. Because in many cases like this, you may want to insert that data into multiple tables, update fields within other tables, and then, of course, perform those actions. And then once those processes have completed, you typically want to redirect back to a grid application or another form or another process, whatever you have going on there. Now, in that case, you will want to use here the commit trans. So you commit this transaction as well as the original being here the form. So that will then commit both of these transactions. And then after that, we then redirect the user back to the grid application. So it's really as simple as that. And of course, as I was saying, you have here other options to also update a table. So if you want to update a table instead of inserting a table, then you can do that also. They're there on the site here, and they're very easy to apply. Of course, you want to have your table names, your field names, and then, of course, ideally, in some cases, maybe even transform or calculate that data. And that is, of course, what I was suggesting in the first question there, is that that data that you calculate is then also stored within a database table. And that will then allow you to access that information throughout your application. Okay, so I hope that answers Alejandro's question, because it really is as easy as that. And if it is a little more complex than that, Alejandro, then do please let me know. My email address, jamie@jamieoates or help@scriptcasebyjamie.com. I'm more than happy to answer and help you there.